Good afternoon. And could I say what a pleasure it is to welcome you to this first of many, I hope, Facebook Lives here in the Ministry for Freedom. Of course, it is only the first because I've only just been appointed to the post of Minister of Freedom, which I'm extraordinarily excited about, as you can probably tell from the the extravagance of my outfit. I'm so sorry that I haven't got my jacket on, but it's very much sleeves rolled up here at the ministry. So we thought we'd just answer a few questions that you might want to have answered via this Facebook Live, and so we'll see who comes up. Let's have a look at who we've got in here tonight or this afternoon. Who we got here? Let's have a look. Okay. Well, while we wait, and do keep them coming, let me tell you how I was appointed to the post. I was in number 10, as it happens, during the reshuffle. Just happened to be in the kitchen chatting to people, as they came and went, and so I just just chatting, bonding, networking there. And I had my phone with me, of course. I mean, the fortunate thing about the phone was that I had deleted all of my contacts, except number 10, obviously. And then the phone went, and the PM called me in and said, would I like to be the Minister for Freedom? Very much for freedom rather than of freedom. And there is a distinct and clear difference there, which I think makes sense. Yes, he said that because I seem to be free a very great deal of the time, that he thought of me for the post. And I have to say, I'm very, very deeply honoured. We've got a question here from Jeff from Stirling. Well, good afternoon, Jeff. Perhaps I might try my Scottish accent. I used to do a bit of Amdram in my time. How about... Okay. No, Martin says perhaps that wouldn't be a good idea, and I think he's probably right. He's right about most things, I have to say. Yeah. Martin's my spad. My spad, yes. Horrible word, isn't it? It makes it sound like I've got some sort of disease. But Martin's terribly good at most things and keeps me very much informed. So, Jeff from Stirling, doing a sterling job, no doubt, up there. Let's see what it is that you're asking. What do I propose to do, Jeff asks, as Minister for Freedom? That's a very good question. I'm very glad that you've asked it. There are two things I want to achieve in this post, about which I'm terribly excited. So excited I'm not wearing my jacket, as you can see, and I think I've said that. The first of those is to bring about, as a permanent fixture in the national calendar, a day of freedom, a national day of freedom, a day on which we can celebrate all of those things that we could not do before Brexit, all of those things that mark us out particularly as a nation. We were thinking, for example, of maypole dancing, which I know it's a very, very little known fact that was in fact banned by the European Union before we left. And Martin's just got a piece of paper. He's waving it at me. Maypole dancing had not been banned. Well, there we are. We've got it back. That's a good thing, isn't it? We thought that on this day, the National Day of Freedom, that we could do all of those things that we couldn't do before. And if you have any suggestions as to what those things might be, feel free to post them, because we're very, very much in a listening mode. So the second thing we want to do is to create an office for freedom. Now, I thought of calling this a number of different things, but eventually I settled on Ofmof, which I think characterizes the sense of stature and standards that we want to bring to the concept of national freedom. I thought at one time we might call it muff or moff, but in the end we've gone for off-moff, which I think has a ring to it. And very much what we'll be doing with off-moff is helping the country to be more free by being less free. And I think that makes a great deal of sense. We don't want people to go overboard. We've never been a country for that. And so our inspectors will be using what we're proposing to call a charter for freedom, that we very much hope that the whole nation will get around and help us to create 10 rules for freedom, 10 commandments, if you like, for freedom. We're hoping this will excite the whole nation. I can't see why it wouldn't. So what do we have? Do we have any more? Yes, another question's come up here. Let's have a look at who this is. This is Tariq. Tariq asks, no, of course I won't. Of course I won't. Tariq says, that's Martin giving me some advice there. I was going to slip into a little bit of Islamic language there, but Martin says no. Martin, he's very much my right-hand person and looks after me and therefore looks after the nation's interests. Sometimes I think that Martin would do a better job of being minister than me. And I can see that Martin agrees. So Tariq's asking, how do I feel about my partner being in Big Brother house and the incident that caused him to be under investigation? Thank you, Tariq, for that question. I'm really glad that you've asked it. Now, I want to be extremely candid about this. At no point is it true to say that the man bag that Norman had in the Big Brother house was in fact mine. It was not. Let me clear that up once and for all. The man bag was not mine. Norman packed it himself. I saw him pack it, and he took it into the house and therefore is responsible for what lay therein. A good example, if you will, of what we mean by the purpose of off-moff. Indeed, we think that our inspectors will be having a conversation with Norman about him and his man bag. So I think we've got time for some more questions. Now Martin says we haven't. He says, I've got to go and vote. There's a very important vote happening in the Commons at the moment about trout, in fact, British trout. So I must away and do that. And hopefully we'll do another one of these very, very regularly. So please tune in and drop us your questions, particularly about the Charter for Freedom. Yes, it's funny, when I heard there was to be a vote about trout, I thought it was some sort of vote about Anne